So when you just told that story about that guy trying to molest you, and that you basically may or may not have killed him. When do you first take interest in another man and actually go about breaking another guy down? Break down that scenario.
I was in the shower. Well, every time they bring sissies into prison, I was the one that'll run my mouth to them. Cuss them out, tell them they were dirty and nasty. That I hope God I'd take them and put them in bundles and burn them. All this stuff. And then they brought one in. He was just like a woman. And he had a big old butt like Serena Williams. And he was real nice. He said, can I talk to you? I said, no, you can't say nothing to me, fag. You know, all that. He said, what did I do to you? I said, shut up. And then one day I was in the shower by myself. I usually like taking showers when nobody's in there. You know, I don't want to go through all that old shit.
What? What were you scared of in the shower?
Everybody coming to see, in the prison I was in, they had this thing called saltpeter. You ever heard of that?
Saltpeter?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? I forget.
It's supposed to something you put in the food. It's supposed to make it to where you can't get aroused.
Right, yeah.
But if you put too much, it'll have the reverse effect. Everybody's hard, right?
Oh, wow.
So they had sissies working in the kitchen, and they was deliberately putting more to get everybody hard and rocked up all the time, right? So every time you stand up, your shit is rocked up. So I'm in the shower, and this dude come in, this little gay dude. I didn't know he was in there, and I was washing I had a lot of hair then. I was washing my hair, and I heard somebody say, I turned around and looked. I seen him from the back, and that soap was going down his back and going through the crack of his big old bubble ass of his. I said, oh, God. And I'm hard, so I'm like, I said, I'm him. I said, he's scared of me already. So I said, I'm going to take his chance. So I went in the back of him. I said, hey. He said, yeah. I said, can I get some at? He said, yeah. I said, if you tell somebody, I'm going to beat you to death. I said, I want you to know it. Anybody you tell, he said, I ain't going to say nothing. So that was the first time I ever come was in a man. And I almost blacked out, man. My whole body just went numb. I said, ooh, is this what it feels like? And so I wanted it again and again.
Wait, but so was this guy gay?
Yeah, he was already gay.
Okay, so this didn't take any convincing on your part.
Nah, he was already, he came in prison gay, and he wanted to be respected. And there was a lot of people wanting him. They were trying to fight over him to get him. They was offering him like tens and 20s of thousands of dollars, and they had that type of money.
To be their boyfriend?
Yeah, see, when you think of prison, they had one guy in there that I protected. And he got 387 acres of land. He got over 150 heads of cattle. He got all that. He was never been in trouble, but came home one day and caught his wife with another man and killed both of them. So they sent him to prison. You got a lot of people in prison that is filthy rich. They made a mistake where they killed somebody through some type of jealous relationship. But when they come to prison, they need somebody to protect them because they got a lot of money. And so, you know, people were trying to fight over him, but the third time I him, I got caught. Some dude caught me pulling out of him, and he was one of them cats that I know he gonna run his mouth, so I might well go on and fight him right now. And I popped him in the mouth, so when I came out of the hole, everybody was coming to me. They said, man, you in the game? I said, yeah, I'm in the game, and I don't care what y'all think, right? But I didn't know nothing about sex, right?
Right, because this was your first time.
Yeah, and that boy that he started getting paranoid. So I was gambling one day, and he whispered in my ear and said, I want to tell you something. I said, what is it, baby? He said, I've been to the doctor. I said, what's wrong? He said, I'm pregnant. Man, I went nuts. I actually thought that I got him pregnant, right? 'Cause I didn't know nothing about sex, right? I said, oh, goddamn. I said, look, man, somebody take my hand over. I picked him up in my arm and swung him around. I said, did they tell you if it's a boy or a girl? He said, no, not yet. And so it got so bad that the warden at the prison had me brought to his office. And I said, look, warden, I know I can't keep the child here at the prison, so I'm wondering if y'all could put my child somewhere where I can get some visitational rights. And he just looked at me like saying he's sick, you know. And he had a therapist and this lady, she said, well, I want to talk to you, Mr. Johnson. I said, about what? She said, about your child. I said, what about my child? You don't have, I said, look, man, who's this bitch? And I'm ready to go off, right? And it took me, they had to take me through a whole bunch of mental stuff before I realized that he wasn't pregnant because he put something up under his t-shirt and made his belly big. And when I tried to touch it, he said, get away from me. Don't you touch it. You ain't got the right to touch this baby because you the one to say you didn't want it and you let everybody tell you I wasn't pregnant. But nigga, you looking at my stomach right now. What you think now? I cried everything, man.
So he was just on some crazy shit, or was he just looking for attention?
He wanted to be a woman so bad.
Oh, wow.
That he staged that little scene right there. But it took me through a lot of mental stuff. But it didn't stop her.
That's one of the craziest things I ever heard. Was there, okay, when you first had sex with this man in the showers, was there any part of you that just felt kind of disgusted by having had sex with a man, or was it just pure happiness?
Yeah, that's the first time. Once you do it, the first thing is anger. You get anger at yourself. You'll be like, man, I can't believe I.
Once you bust that nut, a lot of times you feel different, even with a woman.
Yeah, man. I felt angry. I felt like angry, and then I kept thinking about how good it made me feel, though. You know, I said I calmed in him, man. As shit. I didn't know nothing about sex except that, you know, I got to take care of my wife. And I went nuts over him.
If you haven't checked out Everything 420 yet, you are definitely missing out. From glass gear to infused sweets, they've got one of the best lineups online. They ship fast, it's always discreet, and their app makes shopping too easy. The deals are always running, and you can use code NOJUMPER for a little bonus at checkout. Shout out Everything 420.